Why firms grow. Growth can increase profit and bring other benefits. Firms usually grow to increase their profit. There are several ways that growth can achieve this. First, increasing economies of scale. A firm might grow to reach the minimum efficient scale of production, where long-run average costs are minimized. Second, increasing market share and reducing competition. If a firm controls a large part of the market, they might gain some monopoly power that allows them to set prices and make supernormal profits. Also, growth can increase profit and bring other benefits, such as expanding into new markets. A firm might try to sell its products in different countries. However, there are other reasons why a firm grows, such as to achieve managerial objectives. For instance, directors might seek the status of running a large firm, for example. Again, the RBS case study is worth a read here. Internal growth means increasing production scale. Internal growth, also known as organic growth, is growth as a result of a firm increasing the levels of factors of production it uses. For example, increasing output by building a larger factory, hiring more workers, and increasing the amount of raw materials needed. A key advantage of internal growth is that a firm has control over exactly how this growth occurs. However, the downside is that the internal growth needs to be slow and it can be expensive. External growth, on the other hand, means combining firms. It's also known as external growth is also known as inorganic growth. It is growth as a result of takeovers and mergers. A takeover is one firm buying another firm, which becomes part of the first firm. A merger is when two firms unite as equals to form a new company. Economic growth is quicker and may be cheaper than external growth is quicker and may be cheaper than internal growth. It might also be the easiest way to gain experience and expertise in a new area of business. External growth can happen through horizontal integration, vertical integration, or conglomerate integration. Horizontal integration means combining firms that are at the same stage of the production process of similar products. For example, a merger between two pharmaceutical companies or between a bookshop and a music company. Firms can increase economies of scale, reduce competition, and increase market share through horizontal integration. Vertical integration means combining firms at different stages of the production process of the same product. Vertical forward integration happens when a firm takes over another firm that is further forward in the production process, that is closer to the end consumer. For example, a leather manufacturer buys a shoe factory, or a shoe shop, beg your pardon. So, backward integration happens when a firm takes over another firm that is further back in the production process, i.e. further away from the end of the customer. So a printer of books might buy a paper plant. By taking over suppliers or retailers, a firm can gain more control of the production process. This might be in order to maintain higher quality standards or make the overall process more efficient. This can create barriers to entry by preventing competitors from accessing suppliers or retailers. Conglomerate integration happens between firms in unrelated markets. Conglomerate integration means combining firms which operate in completely different markets. For example, an educational stationery supplier merging with a tractor manufacturer. Conglomerate mergers allow firms to diversify, which means that they can spread their risk. If one part of the new firm does badly, this can be compensated for by a product from another part of the firm. A conglomerate merger will also allow a firm to use profits generated by one product to invest in another. Growth will have disadvantages. The growth of a firm can lead to some disadvantages. For example, if two firms merge, there will be a duplication of staff such as marketing, finance, and human resources personnel. It's likely that some of this staff will be made redundant. Furthermore, the two firms will each have a leader. These leaders will either have to find a way to work together or one will need to leave. Also, the merged firm may have different and incompatible objectives that will need to be resolved. A firm can put itself on a lot of debt in order to raise the finance necessary to complete a takeover. The new, larger firm may suffer from diseconomies of scale. A firm that takes over another business may overestimate its value and pay far more for it than it's actually worth. This makes it hard for the new, larger firm to make a return on the investment. The growth of firms will affect consumers, positively and negatively. So, let's look at these now. The growth of firms in terms of affecting consumers in terms of advantages will look as follows. A larger firm may benefit from economies of scale, which could lead to price reductions for consumers. The combined creativity of two firms working together may lead to the production of superior products. Disadvantages. Well, consumers will have less choice if two or more firms merge. The reduction in competition caused by firms merging may also lead to higher prices for consumers. Two merged firms may produce less output than two separate firms, which will lead to price increases. It should be pointed out, however, governments usually monitor mergers to see if they'll lead to consumers getting an unfair deal. For example, a merger can lead to the creation of a monopoly, which will have advantages and disadvantages for consumers. If a government decides that a merger isn't fair to consumers, then it can take action to block the merger.